roses around here. They're the talk of the neighborhood.
Voila! My yellow roses, my daughter. I can offer you a comfortable home, a sunny garden, a congenial atmosphere, my cherry pies.
In the early 1960s, one of the most controversial films of the era, Lolita, directed by Stanley Kubrick, shocked the world. Based on Vladimir Nabokov's provocative novel, Lolita told the tale of a forbidden obsession between Humbert Humbert, a middle-aged literature professor, and Dolores Hayes, nicknamed Lolita, a teenage girl. But behind this notorious story lies another, the incredible journey of Sue Lyon, a 14-year-old unknown who became an overnight sensation. Her story is as fascinating as it is heartbreaking. How did she beat out 800 girls for this role? And what were the consequences of becoming Lolita? Let's dive in. Stanley Kubrick's Lolita starred James Mason as Humbert Humbert, Shelley Winters as the hapless Charlotte Hayes, and Peter Sellers as the eccentric Claire Quilty. But the real star was Sue Lyon, who brought to life the nymphette who entranced Humbert and scandalized audiences. Nabokov himself adapted the screenplay, but due to the strict censorship rules of the time, Kubrick had to heavily tone down the novel's risque content. This led to a version of Lolita that relied on innuendo and suggestion, leaving much to the audience's imagination. Despite these limitations, the film achieved critical acclaim, though Kubrick later admitted he wouldn't have tackled it if he'd fully understood the censorship challenges. The casting of Lolita was pivotal. Finding the right actress was a painstaking process. Over 800 young girls auditioned, including big names like Hayley Mills and Tuesday Weld. But Kubrick found his Lolita in Sue Lyon, a relative unknown who had only minor TV credits. Kubrick first noticed her on the Loretta Young Show, and was struck by her unique blend of youthful innocence and mature presence. She had the perfect look for the role, a teenage girl with a hint of sophistication beyond her years. Kubrick's reasoning for casting Lyon was pragmatic. Her physical maturity would make the character seem older, which was critical to appeasing the censors. Interestingly, Sue Lyon wasn't the only contender to play Lolita. Hayley Mills was initially offered the role, but her father and Walt Disney refused, citing the controversial nature of the story. Joey Heatherton and Tuesday Weld were also considered, but their parents balked for similar reasons. Kubrick later revealed that many of the girls' families sent him bizarre letters, some even claiming, "My daughter really is Lolita." Ultimately, Lyon's enigmatic screen test and striking appearance secured her the role. Behind the scenes, Kubrick's meticulous direction shaped the film. Sue Lyon was just 14 when filming began, yet she carried the weight of the film with astonishing poise. Off camera, she exhibited the spirited energy of a typical teenager. After shooting wrapped each day, she often went horseback riding. Kubrick, ever protective of his leading lady, reportedly told her, "If you get thrown, roll over. Don't hurt your face." One notable irony of Lyon's involvement was that she wasn't allowed to attend the film's New York premiere because she was too young to watch it under the production code's rules. However, she did attend the London premiere later that year. Lolita's production was not without its challenges. The film was shot entirely in England due to Kubrick's fear of flying, and because most of the financing came from British investors. Despite the story being set in the US, eagle-eyed viewers can spot English countryside and architecture in several scenes. Kubrick also faced tensions with his cinematographer Oswald Morris after leaked images from the set appeared in newspapers. Though it was later discovered that a junior assistant in a processing lab had sold the photos, Kubrick never apologized to Morris, causing a rift that ensured the two never worked together again. Peter Sellers, cast as Claire Quilty, added chaos and brilliance to the set. His improvisational skills inspired Kubrick to keep multiple cameras rolling during his scenes to capture every spontaneous moment. Sellers' performance is one of the film's highlights, though it reportedly made James Mason uneasy. Mason later confessed that if he'd known how much attention Quilty would command, he would have asked to play the role himself. The adaptation of Nabokov's novel also came with its own hurdles. Originally, Nabokov submitted a sprawling 400-page screenplay that Kubrick described as unfilmable. Though much of Nabokov's script was discarded, he was credited as the sole screenwriter and even received an Academy Award nomination for Best Adapted Screenplay. In the final cut, Kubrick made significant changes, including opening with the murder of Quilty, a bold move that set the film's dark tone. The censors were relentless. Lolita's age was raised, from 12 in the novel to 14 in the film, and Sue Lyon's mature appearance was used to soften the scandalous implications. Iconic elements like the heart-shaped sunglasses were actually a marketing invention. Lolita wears cat-eye sunglasses in the film, but the heart-shaped glasses became synonymous with the character thanks to Bert Stern's provocative publicity photos. Sue Lyon's performance as Lolita won her critical acclaim and a Golden Globe for Most Promising Newcomer. Critics praised her for embodying the complexity of a character who was both a naive teenager and a manipulative flirt. But while the role launched Lyon into stardom, it also marked the beginning of her struggles. Being thrust into the spotlight at such a young age had devastating consequences on her personal life. Post-Lolita, Lyon tried to carve out a successful Hollywood career, starring in films like The Night of the Iguana and Tony Rome, but she could never escape the shadow of her first role. She often lamented that playing Lolita typecast her as a child woman, an image she found difficult to shake. As she grew older, her personal life became a series of tragedies, marked by failed marriages, health issues, and struggles with mental health. Lyon herself later reflected, "Lolita destroyed me." The story behind Lolita's title is worth examining. In Nabokov's novel, Lolita is a private nickname used exclusively by Humbert. The name itself became a cultural touchstone, synonymous with precocious young women. But in the film, Lolita's mother and friends also used the nickname, a subtle yet significant shift that underscores how Kubrick adapted the story to fit the constraints of 1960s filmmaking. Lolita remains one of the most daring and polarizing films of Kubrick's career. Its blend of dark humor, taboo themes, and striking performances solidified its place in cinema history. Sue Lyon's journey to becoming Lolita is a cautionary tale of the price of fame, especially for a young girl in Hollywood. Now it's time to hear from you. What do you think about Sue Lyon's casting as Lolita? Do you believe her mature appearance helped make the controversial story more palatable, or do you think it added to the controversy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.